Hi, everybody, and welcome to this installment of our GiveSignup Fundraising 411 series. Today, Whitney and I are going to be talking about how to scale with a modern hybrid event strategy.
All right, so my name is Whitney Taylor. As Elizabeth said, I work with GiveSignup, RunSignup, and I am more on the RunSignup side, working with the endurance events.
And I'm Elizabeth. I'm our GiveSignup account manager. So I work with our nonprofit customers who are using our GiveSignup products like ticket events and donation websites. This webinar is going to cover a little bit of everything because we're going to be talking about how you can do a hybrid event for your nonprofit, whether that's a run, walk, ride or a ticket event. That's kind of half virtual and half in person. And as we go, we'll kind of be pointing out we'll be covering a lot of things that are run, walk, ride specific because that's more of what we've seen so far from hybrid events. But we will also have some time to talk about how your virtual ticket events can become hybrid as you move into doing more in-person stuff. So here's our agenda for today. We're going to do a quick overview of GiveSignup, RunSignup. Then we're going to talk through building a modern event strategy. Best practices for hybrid events, some technology offerings that we have for hybrid events, and then some customer success stories. And then at the end, we'll show you how you can get started and do a little Q&A as we have time. So what is GiveSignup, RunSignup? So GiveSignup is built on the technology and the business foundations of RunSignup, and probably most of the people on this webinar are at least familiar if you are not already a customer of RunSignup. So GiveSignup is best-in-class technology to elevate nonprofits' revenue generation and supporter engagement. And we have several purpose-built fundraising technology products for nonprofits. So, for example, event fundraising, and that takes a few different forms. Like I said, we have our RunSignup classic Run, Walk, Ride platform, as well as virtual and in-person ticket event platform. And then we also have donation websites and fundraising campaigns that we offer to our nonprofit customers. And then we also have, online giving as part of every product that we offer. So 9,000 plus nonprofits are using GiveSignup today. This kind of explains it in a image, and I really like this image. So this kind of shows how GiveSignup and RunSignup are one platform with two purpose-built solutions. So if you're just a regular endurance event, or if you're a nonprofit with a endurance event, then you've probably used us for registration for your run, walk, or ride. We also offer memberships and all our race day tools, so over on the right side of this image. And then for our nonprofit customers specifically, we offer those ticket events, fundraising campaigns, so that's like DIY fundraising on a dedicated website, and then online donations. So that's donation forms, donation websites, donations on a race, donations on a ticket event. So all one platform, one payment account, one login for you. You can manage it all through your account on GiveSignup, RunSignup. So we also describe ourselves as an all-in-one supporter engagement platform, which means that you can get data on your supporters of all types across all your events. So you're engaging your supporters with your ticket events, your run, walk, rides, your fundraising, and you're going to be able to pull information on them across the entire platform. So whatever opportunities you have for them to engage with your nonprofit, you're going to be able to do that on GiveSignup, RunSignup. We also easily connect to any other platforms that you use. So at the bottom of this image here, you can see some examples of other platforms that a lot of our customers use on the CRM or donor management side. So since all our reporting and everything is super exportable and we have an open API, it's really easy to bring over your supporter data into whatever other platform you're using. And then the last little bullet point here points out that your mission is always first. So you'll see some examples of some websites in this presentation, but it's really easy to brand whatever you're doing, whether it's a hybrid run or some kind of virtual ticket event with an in-person component. It's really easy to make it reflect your mission and your brand. All right, so now Whitney's going to talk through hybrid.
Yes, I'm going to take it away with building a modern event strategy. So Why is the future hybrid, and why do we keep saying that? Next slide. So before we get into anything, let's just talk about what a hybrid event is. We've been using this word hybrid a lot, and Elizabeth kind of covered that in the beginning. What we define as a hybrid event with GiveSignup, RunSignup is a run, walk, cycling, triathlon, or a fundraising event that has an in-person component as well as a virtual component. So a couple of examples of that would be a 5K run that's in person. Maybe you're doing it in small waves, with a virtual 5K as well. So you're offering them both within one race. You could also do something similar to a gala where you have people that actually attend the gala locally, and then you also have people that are attending that gala from the comfort of their home while they're watching the recording. We have another option that could be, which you've probably done, maybe you've done with GiveSignup, RunSignup. We've done a handful of them recently over the past year and a half of seminars or cram sessions or one-day virtual conferences where you have people that are showing up physically as well as streaming it live, where you can create this community, yet you have people in multiple locations. So why did we go hybrid in 2020? Well, aside from the obvious pandemic that occurred, we figured out going hybrid was a way for us to get some normalcy back into this industry. So we wanted to bridge people that were starting to have these in-person events with the ability to still do virtual. And what happened in response to that was the ability to expand the capacity for the amount of people attending the event. We were able to rebuild the confidence within the participant as well as the organizer because of the security that virtual and a live event gave, because it was giving you multiple options and it gave you that ability to jump back and forth. You were creating this blanket of security for both yourself as well as your participant. We also were able to engage way more supporters throughout this entire process because we were reaching not only the people in that one location, but we were reaching people across the country. So if that didn't sell you on why it would be a good idea to keep hybrid, these are the main reasons why we are going to say hybrid is forever, hybrid is the future. What a fantastic idea to have everyone participate in the event always. Well, if you have cool swag, or if somebody's always wanted to do that race yet they can't jump on that plane and get there, you have the ability to reach those people in your market. You also have the ability to exceed your cap if you are an event that maybe you cap out at or you cap out at 100 people max. You have that ability to reach more people so they can experience it. You can also play with the sellout / like join virtual and make it more urgent when it's going to sell out, because you're going to have more return. You're including people outside of just your, like I said earlier, you're including the supporters outside of just your local area. You're getting people that are doing this virtually, but then they're spreading to their circles because they're reaching out to them for fundraising, for donations. And again, you're just providing that flexibility and that confidence for both yourself as well as your participant. If they feel like you're being responsible as an organization with giving them the option, as well as knowing that you could switch to an option at any moment, that's going to give them way more confidence to sign up for your event.
Yeah, and hybrid is more than just 5Ks. Obviously, doing a race, a lot of us got used to the idea of a virtual race in 2020, and so expanding that to hybrid was kind of an obvious next step, where you have your virtual race and then you also have an in-person option where maybe you have a couple hundred people who can come out and participate in that. But it's more than just endurance events. Other types of fundraising events can also be hybrid, depending on what you're used to doing. Or what you typically do, whether you're kind of recycling an existing event that you do but having to reimagine it a little bit, or if you're creating something new, you can get really creative and do other kinds of fundraising events that are both in-person and virtual. So there's some more examples here. So an in-person gala with an online option, like we said at the beginning. A couple of our customers have actually done this, streaming tickets for a sellout speaker. So if you're having a speaker come in or something and you want to be able to have people come in person and watch them, but you want additional people to be able to pay maybe a little bit less and watch them over Zoom from home, you can do that. This is a good idea. So book club options, or any other kind of like club or meeting, I guess, where you can have people meeting in person and meeting virtually and have it streamed live. And then things like a pancake breakfast or a gala or other like kind of dinner event where you have an eat-in option and then you also have a takeout option so that you can see, you know, so many people, however many people your venue holds, and then also have people who, you know, want to feel safe or want to stay home or whatever for whatever reason, can come and take out their food. So as it says, the sky's the limit. If you can think creatively, you can find some really fun ways to do a hybrid virtual event that encompasses more supporters. And it won't really add any overhead because if you're just streaming an event or something, that's not really going to add much additional work or cost to you. So it's a win. So if you start to think about hybrid as your year-round strategy, that makes it even easier. So it's not just events that are hybrid, your entire fundraising calendar should be hybrid. And that might be a bit of a shift for nonprofits, but we think that it will become the new normal as we move out of, you know, pandemic times and back into normal life. The key will be thinking about your fundraising as something that is both in person and online. So including both in-person and virtual options for events, but also offering virtual only fundraisers like challenges or Giving Tuesday virtually to expand your reach beyond your geographic area. And then including online only donation and fundraising campaigns as well. So here's an example of a year-round hybrid strategy. This is kind of general. Obviously, every nonprofit will do something a little bit different depending on what your mission is and what your normal events are, but this is kind of a very basic thing to go off of. So in this example, they have a 5K run here. They have another one in June, which is fully virtual, but the January one was hybrid. They have a couple of in-person events in February and March. They have an online fundraising event in April. There's some in-person options for both donations and an in-person event that can't really be facilitated online or in a hybrid format. Giving Tuesday they have over here in November, which is fully online. That's really easy to do with Giving Tuesday because Giving Tuesday is sort of naturally an online thing. So as you can see, there's an idea here for each month, and then depending on how many events your nonprofit does every year, you might even do multiple events in a month. But it's really easy to think creatively and give virtual options to your existing in-person events and vice versa. So now we're going to talk through some best practices for hybrid events.
And I'm going to take over again. So the best practices when it comes to hybrid. The first one and the most important one, this is what you initially hit when you set up, whether that be your gala or your conference or your event, is that you want to create a live event as well as a virtual. You want them to be separate, and that is true for 99% of the time. There are going to be some one-off situations where you might need to do something different. You might be that 1%, and if that's the case, we have plenty of people at GiveSignup, RunSignup that can help talk you through that to see if you truly do need something different. A couple of other items that you should definitely turn on in the system would be your participant management features. So this is your event transfer, so transferring the ability to transfer from live to virtual or back, vice versa. Your deferrals, so the ability to allow somebody to go to the following year. So we're in 2021 right now, that would put them to 2022. as well as race transfers. If you are an organization that has multiple events, then you can turn on race transfers that will give them the ability to transfer from one race that you have to another race, maybe 3 months, 4 months down the road when they feel a little more comfortable showing up at your event. So having all of these 3 things turned on for your participant management is really driving home the trust that they have in you as an organization to give them what they want, and also the security knowing that you're going to do a great job with the event. Now for hybrid tickets that are non-endurance based, we do have some featured links. We recommend putting featured links on your website that's just kind of guiding them through what to expect with this specific event that you're putting on. We recommend you offer ticket exchanges or refunds leading up to that race, almost up to that final week, so that people they know that they can use a flexible schedule, and if something were to come up, that you're going to take the right action. And the last one, of course, is just making sure that you're offering really good, enticing virtual options so that people are going to take advantage of that, and you're going to get more people than you expected to take advantage of that. So some of the settings in the system that you're going to need to separate when it comes to having a hybrid event of a virtual and in-person. I'm not going to read off the list here. We're going to go over a couple in the next couple of slides, but you can read them. These are some of the things you want to make sure that are 100% separate. So the first one that we wanted to show was the customized place and direction. So with a live and virtual, of course, virtual is anywhere and live is a specific place, and you want to make sure that the people that are showing up live know exactly where that is. So you want to be able to customize your directions, and so you can put something similar. You can see here with the before and after, we are showing where the actual location is in the after, as well as the fact that you can do it virtually versus what it just defaults to, which is just the location.
And you can see here, this is where you would find it on a race or a run, walk, ride website in your dashboard. And then below it, I have where you would find it in the ticket event dashboard.
The next one is the customized date and location. So this is essentially just customizing your date for a race, a live in-person race or an in-person gala, whatever it might be. You're going to have a specific date that this occurs on that people are going to have to show up. For virtual, we always recommend giving them a couple of days. This is more so specifically not for a gala, but for an endurance event or any type of physical activity event. You want to give them a flex time frame of like 3 to 7. 5 is a good sweet spot for them to submit their results, because they're not always going to do it on that specific day. And again, Elizabeth has included where you can find both of those settings in the platform. And this is just an example of what that looks like on the front page of the platform when you have your dates and your times and everything that's showing versus cleaning it up and just showing the basic information. And then a big one that can cause a lot of confusion if you get this wrong is the event specific confirmation emails. So you want to make sure that your live people are getting the emails telling them where to go for packet pickup, or how to pick up their packet, or how to get their ticket. And then you want to make sure that you're directing them how to get to that location, et cetera, et cetera. For a virtual, it's a lot looser. The most important thing you want to do is if you're streaming something where they need to watch, you include that link. And if you are doing a virtual, then you want to make sure they know where to submit their results. So this kind of just dives into what we were talking about the specific things that you want to make sure that you include in your event specific confirmation emails. And I hate to sound like a broken record, but these are truly important, because if you don't hit on all of these points, you're going to get a mass amount of customer emails confused about where to go, what to do, how to do this. And again, we have at the bottom where you can find that specifically in RunSignup as well as in GiveSignup.
The key for any event that isn't just a regular like show up at this time event is to be super clear and communicate really well, especially while there's still safety considerations kind of at play, because people want to know, okay, what time do I show up? Because I don't want to, I don't want to make it crowded or something when it shouldn't be. So be as super clear and communicative as you possibly can.
All right, and now we're going to talk about some of the settings that you can combine. So this truly is a way to take your virtual and your in-person and combine them into a massive community. This is your time if you love marketing or if you just love the social aspect of the race space or of the galas or the fundraising events, etc. This is your time to shine, because it's your ability to take groups of people that normally wouldn't be together and get them engaging with each other. So we have a photo feature on both platforms where you can upload photos for the entire event, as well as specifically they can have their own photos where they just can scroll through their photo album. We have social and team incentives, so you can set up teams where you can be virtual as well as live. So I could be doing something with Elizabeth, even though we live in completely different states. And that is just a great way to get people together. The referral and swag rewards, that's a great way to reach more and more participants and just get more exposure for your organization. And of course, the fundraising efforts, they are going to go drastically farther when you reach a larger community. And social media is going to play a huge role in that. Another thing that we highly recommend is something that's not even on our platforms, but getting on Facebook and creating a private Facebook page where people, if they sign up, are allowed into that Facebook page, and then you show up, whether that be in lives or you get people to come in and do talks maybe once a week, or you do little mini activities in there. It's just a great way to engage the community, and it's also a fantastic way for you to get your name out there.
So now I'm going to go through a few points about technology for hybrid events. Some of these are going to be more specific to Run Walk Rides, because obviously we have built out our virtual platform on the Run Walk Ride side a little bit more. For a virtual ticket event, it's very different for each ticket event, so we don't necessarily need as much, we don't need results or anything. But I do have some points in here that are good for either, whether you're doing just a regular fundraising event or some kind of run, walk, or ride that's hybrid. So one of those that kind of bridges both is the donation thermometer. So this is one of our cover page components. You can add this to your cover page and set your donation goal in your dashboard. And then as you get donations, this updates live. So you're able to kind of point people to your website, and they can see the impact of their donation. They can see how close you are to your goal. You can update your goal as you get close to it. So in this example, they could probably up it another couple $1,000s and try to get more donations. Or if you reach your goal, it's nice at the end of the event to have a full thermometer showing on your page. And so then down here, this is where you would set that up. If you're setting up your cover page, you can just add it with the data component option. As Whitney was kind of saying, social media is really important for all kind of virtual events, but especially hybrid events, so that you connect people who are participating in person and online. So as she pointed out, Facebook groups are a really great way to do that. Depending on what your event is, there's different ways to interact with people on Facebook. Hashtags are another one. So if you have any kind of, one day, whether it's, a race or something where you have a race morning, and then you also have virtual people participating on their own, using a hashtag is a really great way to kind of combine all of that and have it all in one place on the internet. Contests are also fun. So I've seen some events do this on Facebook actually, but you can also do like donation competitions and things like that. But fun contests like best costume or best photo are really fun. We actually have an event set up on our tickets platform right now that's like submit a picture of your pet, and they're gonna have voting later on in the month on the cutest pet picture. So things like that are ways that you can use social media and our platform to get some engagement from supporters, whether they're in person or virtual. You can also go live. So Facebook has this and Instagram has it. Probably all social media platforms do at this point, but this is a really great way to share a live experience with virtual supporters. So if you are having a live race or a live gala or something and you want to like stream part of it as it's happening so that people can feel like they're there, even if they're participating virtually, that's a really great way to do that. And again, low overhead. Facebook and Instagram are free. Referrals are another great way to engage people using our technology. So we have referrals on races and we have referrals on ticket events. You can set up referral refunds. So if you want people to be able to get their feedback if they've referred more than 5 people, you can set that up, or you can set up on a run walk ride, you can set up swag rewards. So like in this little graphic over here, they have an example of at 5 referrals, you get a $25 refund. At 10, you get a hat. And then at 20, you receive a custom printed map. So that's just an example of something you can do on the Run Walk Ride platform with referrals. Effective referral setups, we always recommend do high threshold, high reward. So most referrers aren't going to reach the threshold to get a refund. So the first few people that they refer are actually free to you. So think about that as you're kind of making a plan for your referral setup. But we found that the effectiveness of doing referrals soared in 2020 with everything being virtual, and that's going to continue to be true for hybrid. So this is something that you can do on Run Walk Rides right now. So fundraising is a really great way to engage everybody across your hybrid event, so virtual and in person. So you can have people use our fundraising features, whether that means giving everybody a fundraising page and letting them set up teams with different goals and everything, or just giving people the option to fundraise for you. Either way, you're going to be engaging more people and raising more money. So it's a win-win. This is something that's definitely specific to a virtual or a hybrid race, but setting up a digital bib is a really fun and good way to have people share your event a little bit. So this is an example of one. You can design a bib on our platform that people will be able to access through their profile when they've signed up for your event. And then depending on how you design it, you can have it pull their name, what event they're in, and then they're going to be able to print it out if they want to, or share it, which is what we see more commonly, share it on Facebook or Twitter to show that they're participating in your event. Something very similar that we have is finisher certificate. So this is for people who have completed your hybrid event and submitted their result on our Run Walk Ride platform. So very similar to the digital bib, you design it, you kind of pick what goes on it, and people are going to be able to share it after they've submitted their results. So now we're going to talk through some customer success with hybrid events. So these are going to be, we have a variety of different examples of different kind of hybrid events that will hopefully get you thinking about what you could do with either an existing event or something that you're kind of thinking about doing this year. So these are some general hybrid ideas for nonprofits, and we've already listed some of these in other places, but doing a gala with an in-person and a live component that's virtual, some kind of like festival or other like event like that with a takeout option where people can drop by, grab their stuff and leave and go home and enjoy it, or any kind of like outdoor spring or summer event that you typically have, but attaching a virtual challenge to it that leads up to it, or maybe is like the month after it, or just do like a social media week where you do a bunch of different challenges and like mini events on Facebook or something so that people who can't come to the actual in-person event are able to still engage with it in the week before or after. And then this last one is actually something that one of our customers, the Crescent City Classic, put on last year in the fall. So this is like a hybrid bar crawl kind of thing, where they had different bars that you could visit in person on your own. So it wasn't a live event where there would be other people participating in the event at the bar when you were there. But you would visit each bar in person, get a unique cocktail there. There was a running and walking component to it where you would submit your results, and there's a specific distance to each bar that you would be logging. And they have the course posted on their website. So this is a little screenshot of that. So this is a creative idea, and you could also do something similar to this. Like, this made me think about, you could do a scavenger hunt that's sort of the same thing, where you're having people physically go to a certain location, but it's on their own, so it's still safe and COVID compliant and everything. Or any other kind of like in-person solo challenge where people are going to a physical location and then submitting their results online, and then maybe you do prizes or something with fundraising. So then Whitney's going to go through a couple of examples of run, walk, ride kind of examples that have gone hybrid in the last year.
So this was a race, again, that happened in the fall of 2020. There was an in-person component, as you can see from the people wearing their bibs and their t-shirts, the in-person component as well as a virtual component. There was a fundraising component to this as well, where every single individual that signed up received a fundraising page and was encouraged to fundraise for the race. You can see they raised a ton of money doing this, and they're going to do this hybrid event again, and they hope to hold a larger in-person section for it. And this next one, the Richmond Marathon, was a unique approach to hybrid. This was a really cool experience. There's been a lot of write-up about this specific race, the Richmond Marathon. The way that they did this was they did a virtual and a live, but within a 16-day time frame. So it was over the course of 16 days that people could come out and run the course in person. They offered a lot of things that they would offer with their in-person race, and they were out there doing chip timing. It was super cool to see and really cool to hear about. They had a ton of people register and actually come up and show and do that, and it was safe, very socially distanced. It was a USATF certified course, so that's awesome that they could get that, they could make that happen. They had multiple pickup options, so they kept it very safe and friendly for anybody that felt concerned. It was just a good way to, you had your ability to show up and be alone and do it yourself. You also had the ability to do it with your close group of friends if you felt comfortable being around them. They included all of the participant management options, so they allowed for you to transfer from virtual to live and vice versa. They also allowed you to defer. So they were giving you all of these opportunities to participate, and they had a fantastic turnout. You can see here some of the elements that they used for the in-person. It was an official course. It was chip time. Super cool. It's just awesome to see that this was happening during COVID times. They had a finish line. So it felt like a real race, and it was a real race in person. And then they also had the virtual element for those that just wanted to go out and do it on their own. They could start whenever they wanted, and they gave them a time frame, and they used our app RaceJoy, which we highly recommend you looking into if you are doing virtual, to just create that race day environment, to send cheers, to show the sponsorships along the course. So they integrated so many different.
Whitney, your audio is cutting out a little bit. So if you'd like to get started with GiveSignup, RunSignup, you can go to givesignup.org, and you'll have these 4 options here to get started free. So creating a ticket event, creating a donation form, creating a donation website, or creating a run, walk, or ride. So this is the same as going to runsignup.com and clicking create race. It'll take you right into that race wizard just on the givesignup.org domain. So that's how you get started. And then Jake, do we have any questions? Again, I'm not sure if we can hear Whitney.
Can you hear me okay, Elizabeth?
I can hear you, yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, Whitney.
Yes.
You can hear me? Okay.
Yes. You just started
freeze?
cutting out on that last slide. I don't know if you froze or what was happening, but I couldn't hear you.
So we did have a
Sorry,
question.
guys.
I think it would be good to pose to you both for the group to hear. So what's better on Facebook, a page or a Facebook group for an event?
I can take that. So I would say, oh, go ahead, Whitney.
We can both provide our opinion.
Yeah.
I believe having a Facebook group, like your own private Facebook group or it can be a public Facebook group and I actually recommend making it private and making people have to join it. So it gives that exclusivity, but it's like anybody can really join. It's not like you have to abide by specific rules to get in, but just make it special. I definitely think a group is going to be more engaging. I also feel that Facebook pages, if you have a Facebook business page, you might experience this. I have seen this is where the Facebook business page definitely doesn't get as much exposure as like a personal Facebook page. And so I think with the Facebook group, you can market that better and people will find it easier and you can push out that link. So definitely think group is going to be better than a page.
Yeah, I agree. A group is more exclusive and helps people who are actually signed up for your event engage a little more rather than just having a public page where you're just kind of like posting at people. I will say though, I do recommend setting up a Facebook event for your hybrid event, whether it's a race or like your just nonprofit fundraising events, because Facebook events do get good exposure. And then you can put a link to your group in that Facebook event, and you should certainly put the link to your registration in your Facebook event, because that's how a lot of people find events, especially now, you know, in a very virtual world.
I also want to add to that, Elizabeth, you brought up a good point. Did I freeze again? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So the one that I'll say it really quick so that we don't have a technology issue anymore. Use the tools in your Facebook group. There's places where you can do announcements and you can pin things to the top of your Facebook group. You can also go live in your Facebook group and you can pin that to the top. So definitely utilize those tools in your Facebook group to get that exposure.
Yes, all of that. That was good. I could hear you really well, and you spoke really fast.
I was trying to get through it without breaking up.
Very efficient. We have another question. Does the site support having a virtual silent auction?
So not currently, although that's something that we are working toward, hopefully in 2021. But no, not currently.
Great. And then the last question we have from Kathy, will you send the slides out to the attendees?
Yes, hopefully by the end of the day.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I think that's all the questions we have.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for attending. Jake, thank you for answering questions, and we look forward to chatting with you guys soon.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.